Yo, what it do, YouTube? We back like we never left for episode 3 of Borderline Takes. How you been, my boy?
Chilling, man, chilling. It's been getting mad cold as of late.
They turned the heat off outside, bro.
The nice weather's gone, man.
Yeah.
It sucks. How about you, though?
Bro, I've been good, prepping for a trip I'm about to do. Finna hit the homeland, Brazil, so I'll escape the winter a little bit, but I'll be back for it. Just working on this Borderline Takes podcast. Behind the scenes, me and Murph do a lot of work, guys. Like, I swear, I promise you. Like, from the edits, we do ourselves with our cameraman. We do the setup for the segments and stuff, and it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like, after work, I'll be dead tired. I'm like, shit. Let me bang out a segment real quick.
Yeah.
You feel me? But how you been, cameraman?
Yo, I've been chilling.
Yes, sir.
It's that time of the year where the freelance be kind of slow, but been chilling. Always opportunity out there, you feel me? Always gotta look forward type shit. But we here, yo. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We got my boy Nino back there in the camera doing excellent work in and out when we're recording and when we're not recording, helping us out big time. So,
Big time.
Yo, my boy Murph, kick us off, my boy. Let's get into some NBA.
All right, so right off the bat, we're jumping right into the NBA. I think the best place to start after another week is talking about the power rankings, top 5 teams in the league.
Of course.
Just top 5. We got the Cavs sitting at number 1. They've been there, I think, for like 2 weeks. But, I mean, Celtics are 1-1 against them. The second game we played, we lost by 4 without JB and Derek White.
Yep.
They sit at 19-3. Celtics at 2.
All right.
17-4. They're currently playing tonight against the Pistons.
That's easy.
Thunder 3. Sitting at 16-5. Rockets, which are, in my opinion, big surprise.
They're 4 in the power ranking of all the teams in the West and East?
They're sitting at 4th in the league, yeah.
Who would have thought?
15-7. That's Ime Udoka, though.
Nah, his work is crazy.
And the Magic without Paulo, they're still hanging in. So they're sitting at 15-8.
I mean, those 2 last teams you mentioned to me are pretty big surprises. Rockets, I'm not gonna lie, probably would expect them to not be even in the playoff run. Probably be 10 or under in their seeding, and then Magic, I expect it to be like a low 8, 7 seed.
Especially with no Paulo.
Yeah, no Paulo. I thought Paulo was the heart of their team, but it looks like they're making it happen. I mean, they're built to win though. They got Franz, they got Jonathan Isaac, both the Franz brothers. So yeah, that's a good team.
That German connection.
It's kind of nice to see switch ups though, for sure.
Yeah.
Like in sports, like to see 2 young teams like the Rockets and Magic working it out up there, and Jalen Green, Ime Udoka coming from Boston. Like, I can kind of see
those young guys in Houston. They're balling right now.
Yeah.
They've all kind of like clicked together.
Yeah.
But then you got like a guy like Fred VanVleet that veteran leadership. He's been there. He's won the chip. That veteran experience definitely goes a long way with the young guys.
I mean, having a vet point guard is amazing, bro. You don't gotta. He's definitely not I mean, he could score. He could put him up, but it definitely seems like he's not. He's not forcing them up. He wants the team to grow, and having him as just like the vet leader of he's a starter for sure of the starting group, and also the locker room is amazing. Especially he wants to dish it out to the hungry players like Jalen Green and them. So
yeah,
definitely seems like it's working out. How about speaking of young teams? How about that McCain kid? Huh?
He's actually sitting at number 1 in the sports books.
Okay.
To win Rookie of the Year. He leads all rookies in scoring at 16.1 points per game. And he's really helped improve that struggling Sixers team. I think PG returned, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
But Embiid's still Embiid. He's not playing those back-to-backs. That team isn't clicking.
Yeah.
But having a rookie guard come in, he didn't get the opportunity early. But once he got his opportunity, he's been rolling with it. And it's definitely showing for the Sixers.
I mean, they need it big time. Having McCain, they just need an extra boost. I mean, they plan to have 3 superstars and feed off of them, but having a rookie work out so well early is definitely big for them. It gives them like a sigh of relief of like, damn, we don't got to make no crazy moves right now. Let's settle, because the season's like this, bro. Every NBA team has ups and downs, so maybe this could be like a rough in the diamond in the rough for them to have something to look up to, so maybe they can get hot later in the season and pick it up come playoff time.
They still don't want the smoke with us, but
fuck no.
They suck.
Yeah.
Other news in the NBA, we're gonna move on. December 10th is the start of the knockout round for the NBA Cup.
Okay.
So there was a lot of teams that were actually eliminated. Like you got the Celtics that were eliminated, Lakers,
It's all right.
Suns,
Yeah.
Warriors. No, the Warriors play actually. Warriors play against Houston.
Yep.
But the 4 games we got on the slip are OKC, Dallas, Houston, Golden State, Milwaukee, Orlando, and New York and Atlanta.
Those all sound like evenly balanced games as well. Like Houston, Golden State last year probably wouldn't sound entertaining, but now that Houston's hot and Golden State's kind of trying to find their rhythm, I think that'll be a pretty good game to watch. The Cup's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I still don't 100% get the rules. I know that for the Celtics, that ATL game crushed us. Like, that kind of messed us up bad because there's like point differential involved.
That's what it was based on. And we were 3-1, and a lot of the teams that were eliminated were 3-1. Like out of the 4 games, 75% win percentage. Yeah. Going 3-1. But it's that point differential that like screwed them over.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sucks. Yeah. You know, those young guys, they want to win it because it's $500K to your pocket if you win it. But it is what it is, I guess. It's also, like you said earlier, a good change. Like the NBA playoffs, they've been pretty consistent of what teams are making it.
For sure.
But with the NBA Cup, it gives those smaller market teams a chance to shine light to some of their guys in what they do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, adding that $500K incentive definitely gets players to work a little harder, especially the players that don't have those massive salaries like all the other the stars that we see day in and day out. And I kind of think the NBA Cup is making due to what the NBA planned to do. You know, like they really wanted more competitiveness throughout the middle of the season where it tends to get dry, viewership goes down. So I think they're hitting the head on the nail with that marketing idea and to get it just more competitive throughout the season.
Yeah, because they're competing now with the NFL, who's now in the back end of their season.
The spicy
and the playoffs are going to start. Like teams are now fighting for their seeds in their lives in the NFL. And in the NBA, we're sitting in December. Like teams are trying to play till May and June. So there's a long way to go in the season. All it takes is one injury to mess up a team's chance for a playoff run. But
I mean, every team definitely has, every fan base has a moment of like they could have won if this player didn't get hurt. Yeah. You know, that it sucks. Injuries, I wish we could just turn off the sliders in real life like you do in 2K when you play with your boys, but it doesn't work that way. But that's what I'm saying. NBA is all about up and downs. But speaking of ups, JT, SGA, making history.
Yep. So Tatum actually just made history. First player in NBA history to win the opening season award for the player of the month. So in 22, 23, and 24, he won the October, November player of the month for the East. He's the first player in history to do that, as well as he passed Paul Pierce to become 4th all-time in Celtics franchise history to win the award 5 times.
Player of the month?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool award to have, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think player of the week's a little like, everybody can have a hot week, but to have a hot month, you feel me?
I mean, that's damn near 2 months.
Yeah, so I mean, it's impressive for sure. JT's continuing to do what he does, making himself better and everybody around him better. His game, okay, let me break this down for you. When he first came into the league, he was really just a killer, a scorer, like defender. Yeah, he could guard the wing a little bit, but bro, now watching his game, it's so complete. Like he could guard the 1 through 4, maybe a smaller 5. I mean, he dishes it really well. He play makes by driving and dishing. His scoring is like, he's a 3-level scorer at this point. Like watching him develop, bro, has been really, really fun. I mean, we've seen some questionable shot making in the past, but now those questionable shot making abilities have turned into like confident shots from the logo. It's insane.
He's still only 19.
He's still only 19, bro.
It's crazy.
Like, wait till he's like 21.
6-7 years. Yeah, 6-7 years in the league, and he's only 19.
Only 19.
It's insane.
The longest Boston joke of all time for JT.
But so, you know, as a Celtics fan, we want to give Tatum those props and stuff. But watching every game, it's like my pet peeve with Tatum is like he holds the ball for too long, a lot of possessions. Yeah. He waits till it's 6 seconds on the shot clock to make his move. Yeah. He's ISOing at the top of the key, waiting for that screen, and then step back 3. And for me, I've said it for a couple of years now. I feel like he thinks he's a better shooter than what he is. Not to take away from his shooting abilities. Yeah. I just think at his size, at 6'10", he put all that muscle on. His post game's elite.
Yeah.
To just step away from the three for some possessions, back a guard down, because the Celtics run. They run a play snap. It's called.
Yeah.
So you got a guy coming out of the corner, handoff, screen away, you're kicking it.
Okay.
So he's coming off the pick, and you can either drive or kick it back.
And is he making the decision, or is
he's the ball handler?
Okay.
So this play, and they can run it for. We run it for all 5 of our starters.
Mm-hmm.
We actually run it for St. Peter's, team I coach in Cambridge.
Oh, that's tough.
So we're trying to teach our guys the play snap. We got that. I mean, the Celtics aren't the originator of it, but they run it probably the most consistent.
They took it and ran with it.
So, like, with that, it's like they get the switch for Tatum to be on, like, Darius Garland when we played the Cavs, and he just consistently just backed him down. Mm-hmm. It's like, don't go away from that. He cannot guard you in the post. And if he does give you, like, a nice little bump, you got KP, Al Horford, Derek White, Jaylen Brown open somewhere. So you just got to keep the ball moving. I think they're falling into the same tendencies as last year in the year before that, getting a huge lead and blowing it. They get too stagnant. It's too comfortable. So I think just some criticism for that is you're getting paid $60+ million a year.
Yeah. Really
take the reins, which I think he has, but you just can't take that foot off the pedal.
Don't get too comfortable. I mean, we all seen times where. One thing people love about Giannis is just he's a dog, bro. Like, he uses his height and he knows what he is, Like, he just wants to attack mode and never turns off. Sometimes you want to see Tatum use his height and attack the paint as well. So I see where you're coming from.
Giannis is the rim runner, though.
Yeah.
Like, he rarely shoots. But he knows that's his strength. And he's going to get to the free throw line 10+ times a game, you know what I mean? For
sure. Off of just getting those free throws, getting those fouls in. I mean, SGA also got that player of the month, October, November. Averaging almost 30, 5 rebounds, and almost 7 assists a game. That's pretty impressive. Chet's out, so he got to step his game up. And it seems like
Hartenstein's playing pretty well, though.
Amazing, bro. I mean, he fit in. I feel like he's the kind of guy that could fit in on any team.
Yeah.
Like
he's also a dog.
Yeah, he's a team player, and he's also just a dog, bro. Like, what he did in New York, he set himself up for success, put himself out there a little bit, And it seems like he's fitting really well in OKC. OKC and them got a whole bunch of, a bunch of shooters, man. 3-and-D guys.
Yeah.
Lou Dort, Wiggins, what's his name? The Jay Will.
Yeah.
Jay Will plays the 4 sometimes. You know that?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. His game is such like a 1-2 guard game, but to see him he's lengthy, no cap. Pause. No diddy. But to see him play the 4 sometimes is pretty interesting. I feel like a lot of the league is trying to copy our style. Not our style, but that fast, small ball style that kind of the Warriors implemented into the league.
That 63-pointer attempts a game.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's crazy, man. I'm not going to lie. But flowers to SGA for getting his player of the month. Speaking of players getting hot, we got White Kid in the South End going stupid. I'll go with Peyton Pritchard, Pro-Am P, whatever you want to call him. You feel me?
Insane.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I mean, he's getting his flowers. I mean, he's been known around the league to the opportunities he gets, he's gonna take them 100%. And he has that dog mentality. He's gonna take your lunch, bro. Don't fuck around. I've seen a few people on their podcast, non-NBA players, talk about, they have guys like Jeff Teague and Peyton Pritchard in the league. I could play too.
It's like, nah.
If you mess around with Peyton Pritchard, he'll give you the quickest 30 of your life, and they won't be all threes. He's a very aggressive rim runner as well. He could chop you up, get into the paint, pump fake, back you down. He's a hooper for sure. You know he was at those pro-ams, at the outside runs,
dropping 92 in Oregon.
That was crazy.
I mean, who knows what the talent was like there, but you're dropping 92 in a game. You know what I mean? So Pritchard's the leader for the Sixth Man of the Year award as of right now.
Yep.
He's the favorite. As Boston fans, we've been seeing this development happen. This is his 5th year in the league. We've been seeing it happen all 5 years.
Slowly but surely.
I think it was his 2nd year, maybe 3rd year. He requested a trade.
Yeah, I remember that.
He got hot. He was getting his minutes. I'm trying to think.
I think it might have been a rotational thing where we had somebody injured and he stepped up.
But who did we get that took his minutes?
Malcolm Brogdon, maybe?
Might have been Brogdon.
I feel like that's our most recent.
Or Josh Richardson.
or Dennis Schroeder. We had a mix of
there was a time
guards coming in and out
where it seemed like it might have worked, but then it didn't.
Yeah.
But Brad Stevens is a goddamn genius, so he knows what he's doing. He signed Peyton Pritchard to a very good deal for both parties.
Yeah. Well, my retirement money, I'm about to give that shit to Brad Stevens. He could put it in a fucking Roth IRA. He'll be the stock. He'll be the stock and take care of it.
But yeah, so I actually don't have the stats up for Pritchard. But right after him is Buddy Hield and what he's doing in Golden State.
Yeah.
That it's exactly what Golden State needs.
I was just gonna say that.
They're slipping down the ranks as of late, but losing a player like Clay, who you can argue that he was also on the decline the past couple years, maybe not couple, because they're coming, 3 years off of a championship?
Yeah, he came off an injury, and they also started using him a bit less. Like, they got into Kuminga, they got into Wiggins. Yeah. Warriors really need that athleticism at the 3, so it balances well with Steph's game.
Yeah.
He puts them up, so to have somebody running the floor back and forth, they were leaning on them, so I think Clay made the right decision to leave. It hurts him, but it is what it is. You got to move on at some point.
You have to, yeah. I mean, he was there for
his whole career.
12?
I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to try it, but they won.
It might have been 14?
Could be.
I forget if he was the year after Steph. Steph was 09. I forget when Clay came into the league. It was maybe 1 or 2 years after, I think. I could be mistaken. But yeah, it was definitely good for both parties to just step away, but then to snag Hield in free agency. That was a signing, right? Not a trade?
It was a signing, and also Hield's been in talks in trades for like the past 3 years.
When he was with the Pacers, it was every trade deadline.
I remember at one point it was so close, like after the bubble, he was going to go to LA, and I was like, I wasn't really worried about Hield. I'm just thinking he's like just a regular 3-point shooter in the league, not a regular, above average 3-point shooter who could get him up. Hield never really stuck out to me in the craziest way, but it seems like he really fits perfectly alongside Curry and taking up some crazy shots, which go in. So they could benefit off it. So Curry's not the only one getting doubled at the 3.
Yeah,
they're not gonna leave Buddy Hield open. They got to make that business decision. They also got the rookie Brendan Pajemski.
Yeah,
he's like
second year. Pods.
So yeah, second year, but he's like a good hustle play kind of guy.
Yeah,
he gives them a little grit. Yeah, because Steph's he's not the grittiest defender. I mean, he'll strap you up, but he's not the grittiest. So having a second year, bringing in the energy is really helpful for them for sure.
So also gonna talk about another team that's struggling, the LA Lakers. They got off to a 10-4 start. Looking like a nice playoff team, maybe like a solid 4-5 seed maybe.
Yeah.
Now they're sitting at 12-9.
Okay.
So they've lost 5 of their last 7, and we've seen like the I wouldn't really say the fall off of LeBron. I mean he's 40. I mean,
but that's regular, bro. I'm not gonna say like if you're just having a cold streak. I mean, if it's on weeks on end, we might start talking about it. But you're telling me none of every NBA players have had a bad week, or he's the past 4 games been struggling really bad.
Really bad.
So I wouldn't say it's the fall off like you're saying, but I would say it is something to keep an eye on. But I wouldn't say he's out for the count.
Well, I wasn't saying he was falling off. I was more just saying
tap in with me, bro.
It's hard to describe, he's 40. You can't put really the blame on LeBron. And I guess, you need your young guys. That's why you got to draft well, and that's why you got to attack in free agency. He only has a couple more years left, and don't get me wrong. When the playoffs come around, he's gonna turn the LeBron mode on. He does it every year. But to get that seeding that they want, so they don't have to go up against a Nuggets team, or they don't have to go up against an OKC or a Dallas in the first round. To get a high seed to maybe get LeBron get him back in go mode. They need their young guys to step in, and AD is now getting double teamed because the start he was having.
Yeah, he was having an MVP kind of start.
Now you have Dalton Connect, who's setting his name, but you need D'Lo, and you need Austin Reeves, and
big time.
who else can they get going off the bench? Like I don't really
Gabe
know.
Vincent. Gabe Vincent I thought was going to be a crazy acquisition. What he was doing to us when he was on the Heat was 3-and-D. Exactly what the Heat needed. He fit the mold. Lakers just need something else. I mean, they got Vando sitting on the bench, and I just seen recently he has another setback with his knee. So it's like the guy's been injured for so long, bro. Just get him out there. I mean, he just needs to. I don't know if it's not the proper rehab or if I'm not too sure the severity of the injury, but I feel like having him out there would be like so essential for them.
Yeah,
he's just that great defender. Probably can take some weight off Braun. You know, have Braun on a weaker offensive player, even though you probably wouldn't want that. Knowing the competitor of Braun and the Lakers, and knowing, you know, JJ Redick doesn't want none of that shit either. I think this moment that they're having right now of like Braun struggling, they're struggling to get some pieces other than AD, Braun, and Connect to light up the offense. This is where JJ Redick does his stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is where he proves if he's a good coach, and this is where he switches up the locker room, switches up plays, and calls the best out of everybody else to step up.
Yeah.
They also got that Max Christie guy.
Yep.
I think he's the second year.
Rui Hachimura.
Rui, who's been kind of quiet. I mean, I haven't heard much of him. He's supposed to be a big help for him. So they just need those guys to step up. We need JJ to do some stepping up as well on the coaching end, and we'll see how they go.
So moving on from teams that were, you know, on the downhill, we have a team that's going back uphill.
Okay, who's that?
Milwaukee. They're getting them back on track.
Okay.
Winners of 7 straight. But out of that 7, they played 6 teams. 6 of the 7 games were against teams that were under 500. So, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt, like how you can judge that.
Yeah, you think the run
because you know they played the Hornets.
Yep.
The Hawks.
Yep.
Pacers.
Detroit
twice.
Yeah.
So the Bulls.
The Hornets are also hurt.
Very. So like you have to kind of judge it. Like those are the games that like Dame and Giannis should win.
So you're saying the winning 7 straight isn't the most eye-popping based off of who they're playing.
Correct.
Like it's not fraudulent, but it's also not a hard-earned 7 straight games. It's kind of like your schedule. You're benefiting off of the schedule.
They're doing like they're playing their schedule to their favor.
Yeah.
Like this is the stretch like a good team will look for.
Yeah.
To get back on their feet.
And maybe this stretch is what they need to get back, you know? Like
get some good team.
Get some momentum.
Camaraderie and like stuff like that,
Some players are probably stepping up, so they definitely need that as of right now because if they're coming in, I mean, I'm not going to lie, bro. The Bucks aren't the best team right now, but they're still the Bucks. It's Giannis and Dame. More scared of Giannis.
Yeah.
If I'm imagine being like a first seed, probably won't happen, but a first seed Celtics, first seed Cavs, and you run into the Bucks first round just because their seeding is horrible. Like it's the East definitely isn't as competitive as the West. Like in the West of last year, the first round of the offs felt like all semifinals, like worth matchups. Like they were all very hyped. But the East is kind of like the first round, the first and second seed kind of get a break unless somebody slips. So yeah, let's see if the Bucks can use this to their advantage and keep it rolling.
They're still also without Chris Middleton.
I forgot about that.
Which
completely.
Who knows how he's gonna come back from injury?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, so I didn't want to cut you off when we were talking about Vando.
Okay.
But it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
That he's been in street clothes.
Yeah.
And like you said,
Yeah.
you can't. We'll never know the severity of his injury.
Yeah.
And you know, I think every NBA player wants to be on the court as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you're Joel Embiid. But
ducking.
He's ducking smoke big time. Fake MVP award.
I'm not gonna lie though, before we get to bashing Joel Embiid, he's definitely done a lot for the city of Philly.
Oh yeah,
like,
you can't take that away.
They were dog shit when he got there. Like actually the worst in the East, probably one of the worst in the East. Like they were the laughing stock of the East.
Yeah.
And
Michael Carter Williams, homegrown, but like that team was dog shit.
Yeah, he's brought them up to a new level for sure. So we'll give him his flowers for that. But as of recent, he's been, you know.
It's been a little questionable.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So, where were we?
We just finished the Bucks using this as momentum.
Yeah, so I lied. You know, we do have one more team to talk about that's on the down slope. It's the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Who started the season off very hot, just like the Lakers.
Yeah.
talks were, high seed in the West possibly.
Our last episode, they were the highest seed.
They were. They were right behind OKC by a half game.
Yep.
We were talking about, can they get back to the mountaintop? Can they win another championship? Well, Curry's still doing what Curry can do. But they've lost 5 straight. But Curry just needs help all around, Buddy Hield's doing his thing. I don't really know what I don't even want to
just say pods.
Pods, yeah.
Pods.
I don't really know pods stats. I watch the highlights sometimes. I'm a big time Flight Reacts guy. So every time I see the Warriors lose, first thing I watch in the morning when I'm sitting in my truck is his reaction. It's the best.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that every NBA team copies the Warriors just because they shoot threes. It's like, well, you guys started the problem by just chucking up 45, 50 shots a game of threes.
Yeah.
But I really don't know what that team needs. They need everything pretty much to get back to where they want to be, and it's just bigger than Curry and Draymond at this point.
They need in my opinion, I think they need a 2 or 3. I think they have Kevon Looney at the center is exactly what they need. He's he doesn't want to chuck up shots. He gets timely offensive rebounds, timely defensive blocks. I mean, there's only defensive blocks, but he's just that timely key player for them. He's Mr. Consistent for that team. So I think they're good at the 1 with Curry, good at the 4-5 with Dre and Kevon. Wiggins has been hot and cold. He's definitely a streaky player, but maybe having a solid 2 to fill in Clay's shoes or I kind of like Buddy Hield at the 6-man, get that spark.
You need that off the bench.
Yeah, so maybe shop around for a 2-3 before the deadline. I think that's what they'll need to boost them up.
Well, Wiggins is at their 3, no?
Yeah, but he
and
could
you have pause at the 2, Curry at the 1. Their 4 is Kuminga?
Dre,
I'm bugging. Dre and then Kevon Looney. Mm-hmm. And then off the bench you got Kuminga. What's his name? Lindy Waters. He's
a shooter, yeah.
He came from OKC, no?
I'm not too sure, but with the guy with the braids?
Maybe he did.
He's a hooper. Nah, he's a hooper. I think he might be a rookie, no cap.
They have another guy that in the last reaction I watched.
Jackson Trace. What's his name? Trace Jackson.
Trace something. I don't know.
Trace Jackson, but he's developing under them. He's been starting a few games.
They have a young guard too. They have a newer guard. I don't know his name.
Ty Jerome? No, that's the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
I will figure it out, but they definitely need that 2 spot to be filled.
They need another veteran role player.
Yeah, for sure. A veteran or just a hot streaky. Ooh, you know who would be tough for them right now? I don't think he's leaving Sacramento, but Malik Monk. That's some crazy.
He's hurt, no?
I don't know, but I know he's crazy good energy. You feel me?
But that's the 2.
Exactly. That's the 2 they could have. Or
when Buddy comes in, he's the 2.
Yeah. So I don't think he's leaving Sacramento. He's found a home there, but shit, we'll see.
We will see.
All right, guys. So breaking into the NFL a little bit before we get in there. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Enjoyed time with your families. Had some good food, and if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, just spend some good time with your family and stuff. How's your Thanksgiving, bro?
It's pretty not bad. Went to my mom's house. It's the first Thanksgiving there. So this will be like the first holiday season that we'll be spending.
That's nice.
Celebrating up at her house. Okay. How about yourself?
I'm good. How's mom doing? Family, they doing good?
Yeah. A couple new dogs.
Okay.
I don't know if there's more to do. It's like a zoo.
I mean, your mom loves
mad
animals. Right? It's good to see, though. I feel like it's mad cool to have that environment in the home. I mean, my Thanksgiving was cool. I mean, I had some food poisoning, so towards the end of it was kind of crazy work, but we made it happen. How about you, Cameraman? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was smooth, at the crib, and then gotta go side to Shorty's crib. You feel me?
I mean, gotta do the side mission. I feel you. But even though that's your shorty, though, that's the main mission. You know what I mean?
Only one mission.
Only one mission, but.
Good question though. Y'all took that walk?
Nah, I didn't take that walk this year. No bullshit. You take that walk?
No.
Nah. We used to take that walk, but we kind of took a step back for taking those walks. But yeah, that's where we at now. We're getting old and shit. Nah, just kidding. We're mad young, but nah, I didn't take that walk this year. But breaking into those Thanksgiving games, we had Lions Bears. That game wasn't close until the end. Caleb Williams and the Bears put up a fight. I mean, Keenan Allen came back. He was routing up for days.
Yep.
Seemed like they finally realized who was on the field. It was like, oh shit, Keenan Allen's on the field. Let me throw him the ball.
We got Keenan Allen?
Like what?
Huh?
I don't know. I feel like they haven't been targeting him enough, but this game really, he put his foot down. He had what? Two touchdowns? Yeah, two touchdowns. Definitely. Just his short routes is what benefits Caleb so much as a rookie. Like, you need those bailout. He's like, you scan across the field and halfway you see Keenan breaking out into the middle. Pass that out. Good game. Still Lions showing off their dominance.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good opening game for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really find it too crazy.
Yeah.
You got a short man in the pocket on the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling to find his receiver still, but I don't know. It didn't really shock me.
Yeah.
Going into it, I knew the Lions. I didn't know, but I kind of figured the Lions were just gonna
run over them.
I mean the Bears cut it close at the end, like you said, but
yeah.
I expected the Lions to come out of there. They were in Detroit, no? I think it's always in Detroit.
I think Detroit on NFL Thanksgiving games is the best. I love Thanksgiving games in general, bro. It gives you that homey, warm feeling. Like, we got football on, no work,
the whole day,
eating good food. Like, it's great to have. We also had Giants Cowboys, which was like a sleeper. Nobody really wanted to watch that. Two teams without QBs, the great wide receivers, just nobody to throw them the ball. So
that shit was boring as hell, my boy.
Yeah, and then we got Packers Dolphins, which was the game I thought would have been of the night, but relatively high scoring game. I mean, 47 points put up on the board. It seems like Tua doesn't do too well in the cold, bro.
Nah, he's 0-8. 0-8 when he's playing in 45 degrees or lower.
That boy's used to that. He's
accustomed to the South, and then he got accustomed to Miami.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nice playing in Miami. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but when you get to the playoffs and you go to Buffalo and you go to KC,
it's February break is mad cold too.
What are we doing here? Mm-hmm. When we were good, coming to New England,
miss those games, bro.
Coming to New England, you're bundled up in 3 layers, 2 layers on gloves, 2 layers on socks, and. Yeah, he would have had a problem with the throwback Pats team in the playoffs. Tua would have had a problem.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have been an issue from the beginning. I mean, Brady would have threw up at least 17 points in the first quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Tua would have been like, "Fuck,
what am I doing here?"
Yeah, but it definitely 0-8 and under the 45-degree weather is a kind of crazy stat to catch.
Yeah.
That was fire. Jonnu Smith's been stepping up for the Dolphins too. It was cool to see. They always have a different tight end room every year, it seems to be.
Yeah, one year it was Mike Gesicki's on the
Bengals now, but he was there.
He was on the Dolphins. Jonnu Smith. I really can't. I mean, they really haven't had.
That's what I'm saying. They got a rotating tight end room.
They really haven't had a solidified tight end a room.
Mm-hmm.
Usually teams will have a 1-2 punch at the tight end slot, but
seems like they're still looking for theirs.
I mean, when you got Waddle and Tyreek,
yeah,
how much are you really looking? I mean, if you had a solid tight end, I guess you wouldn't overlook him. But having Tyreek and Waddle,
alleviates pressure.
You're looking to get them the ball as soon as possible.
For sure, and those 3 games were good games to watch. Other than the Giants Cowboys, a little bit whack, but. Bringing back up the energy, we have Monday Night Football, which was an extremely high-scoring game.
Fun game to watch.
And I swear to God, before the game started, I probably wouldn't have bet on the game. I probably wouldn't have bet myself watching on the game, and I wouldn't have bet over 50 points being put up on that game.
Yeah.
And it was 70 points plus put up on that game with the Broncos and the Browns. I mean, there's a few storylines going there. You have Jameis Winston bouncing back off a shitty butt game. We have Jerry Jeudy coming back to the team that let him go, where he had such high expectations going in.
Yeah, but he really didn't get that number 1 option type.
Yeah, it's just it didn't work out. He's coming back home. He's getting booed. He's having a crazy game.
I think he was talking shit about the Broncos too.
He was. It was fun to watch. I mean, every time they were booing him, he's like, "Ring it loud. I can't hear y'all." He scored a touchdown. He's going to the field. I was like, "What's going on? I can't hear y'all."
You guys didn't support me then?
Yeah.
Fuck y'all now.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, and the guy throwing him the ball is definitely not Bo Nix, but Bo Nix, who should have been throwing him the ball last year, was cooking. I mean, he came in this year, he's kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Rookie of the year, you know. Ever since week 5, he solidified himself and he's been having great weeks back to back to back and carrying them to victories.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always had like a solid defense, but having such a veteran, he's like the most veteran rookie you'll ever see.
Yeah, I mean, in college he played 5 years. We got 61 starts, which was an NCAA record.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like a vet in a rookie's body, kind of, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you have so much experience. Because, I mean, college and NFL, like, there is, like, a major difference.
But there's also
The
a major
speed, the
similarity.
size. Exactly. Like, games. It also depends on what system you get drafted into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, the play style, who's the coach, like,
Mm-hmm.
West Coast offense,
Yep.
stuff like that. I think him having... I mean, I don't know if you'd say, is Sean Payton like a quarterback's coach?
Sean Payton's a team's coach.
I mean,
he wants the best for
no,
the
I
team.
know
for sure.
that, but like he's had Drew Brees. Who else? I mean, like I can only really remember.
I remember him on the Saints.
watching him with Brees.
Yeah. He's gutsy, though. I mean, during the last Monday Night Football game, there was a play where they statistically was supposed to 4th and 1 at the goal line. Or to get to the goal line, you know, so they could get a refresh on the goal for goals, whatever that shit is called. And he's going for it when they can just get a free 3. So, like, he goes for it. Team's like, nah, Sean, chill out. We got to call this timeout.
Yeah.
He's definitely, I would say he favors a quarterback. He wants to put up the points. He wants to give his quarterback all the opportunities to score. Bo Nix is having a phenomenal year. Just really flying under the radar, though. Maybe it's just the team he's at, the media they don't get.
I think that's a decent, like, take on it. You
Yeah.
know, like,
I mean, his stats are 2,800 passing yards, 17 touchdowns. He's a little high on the intos. He has 8 intos, but as a rookie, you can't complain. Has over 300 rushing yards with 4 rushing touchdowns. He's doing his thing.
yeah, I mean, so his touchdown interception ratio is pretty much what it is. Not pretty much. It's 21-8.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid, and he's gonna definitely surpass
17-8.
No, I know, but
But counting rushing.
Counting rushing.
Oh, yeah.
So like he's put up 21 touchdowns compared to his 8 picks. But I mean, if I had to guess, what was that, week 12? Week 13?
Which one?
That was Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving was week 12.
Week 12, so they got 5 games left. I don't know if they already had their
Week
bye.
13. That was last week.
All right, so maybe 4 games left. So he could potentially get close to 4,000 yards in his rookie year if he puts up. Say they have 4 games left, he puts up at least 200 in each. You're gonna be at like 36, 37,
For sure.
and that's pretty impressive as a rookie. You
Yeah.
know?
He's also elevating the team standards. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be anything this year.
They're playoff contention, no?
Yeah, they're doing really well. Going into this, Jerry Jeudy, speaking of him having a crazy game, he broke an NFL record for most receiving yards versus a former team. He's sitting at 235. So coming back, that's a big bounce back.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's nice for him as well. Like going against a team that did you dirty and didn't give you the opportunity that you should have or you felt that you should have. It definitely gives him a boost of confidence and the locker room let him know like, hey, this is who's on your team. Like you have a real potential on your offense. So
Yeah.
Speaking of records, I mean, he had to broken somebody's record. Whose record do you think he broke? The record was set last in 2008.
I mean, I would have said Randy Moss.
No, sir. No, sir.
Damn. Oh wait.
Randy Moss-esque kind of player.
Nah. Because Randy Moss went to the Pats in 07.
Mm-hmm.
07, 08.
Let me know if you need a lifeline.
Give me a conference.
I don't know conferences in the NFL. I can't separate them, but I can tell
It's
you
either
which
AFC
team he
or
left
NFC.
to go, or which team. What do you want?
It's either AFC or NFC.
Can't tell you.
Would that give it
He
away?
I can't make the differentiate.
All right,
the
what was
two.
his original team?
49ers. Big time player for sure. Not like a
Deion Branch?
Nah, bigger.
49ers in 08.
And he went to Dallas.
Am I tweaking? Should I know this?
I don't know. This stat is a little weird, like most receiving yards versus former team, but the guy himself is known for making plays on the offense as a wide receiver. Some say no.
Does he have a nickname?
Yeah, he does.
That would give it away.
It's a 2-letter nickname.
Fuck. Alright, you got me on that one.
T.O. Terrell Owens.
Wow.
I thought you would have snapped it after I said 49 to Dallas.
That was 08. I kind of, in my head, I kind of placed T.O. a little bit older. Like, he would have played a little bit.
05 or something?
Yeah, like, I wouldn't have put him there. Was that his... That had to have been towards the back end of his career, no?
Yeah, I mean, he hit Dallas. Dallas was a good team that he was on, but that was towards the end of where he was, like, you know, setting off. Do you think he retired a little too early, or was it a good time for him to retire?
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't like
I wasn't big into. I mean, I would watch, but like I was also only 6. Like,
yeah.
So like I'm not over there studying analytics.
Yo, Ma, turn on the TO game.
Like I'm over here worrying about the Celtics. I mean, literally, because 08.
Yeah.
That was our first taste of victory. I mean, for the Celtics wise.
First taste of a lot. Because we had Celtics, we had the Bruins.
But you had the Pats, you had the Sox
before
that, and then 3 years after the Celtics, then you had the Bruins.
My fault. Tell the other sports teams that don't. You don't
like us. We're the real city of champions.
Yeah, not New York, not Philly, not LA. Boston is the city of champions.
You guys got like 11 teams, like, and y'all still aren't catching up to us.
Yeah, but T.O. did his thing. I think he might have retired a little bit too early. He still had a few more years in the gas tank, but he made that business decision for himself.
He's still in such great shape too. I don't know if you've seen him on.
He's
online.
Always on the crazy workouts.
He's still routing people up at his age. I mean, 40s.
Yeah,
late 40s,
40s, 50s, somewhere. But
so
he's
like,
still
ripped, like routing guys up online. Like just anyone that wants to trash talk. It's like the same with Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah,
like
Chad be chirping too.
But it's funny, but he can back it up still.
He can. Speaking of like getting ripped and stuff. Patriots fans kind of had a win ripped from their chest. We were playing the Colts. It was like pretty back and forth game. Drake May's having a good game. Our defense is having a good game. And towards the last drive for the Colts, they go ahead and score a touchdown, 2-point conversion, take the game away from us. How do you feel as a Pats fan?
Commit to that tank, baby.
Tank for Travis.
So I'm watching it. I'm texting my group chat, and I hate watching the L's, but like you have to realize it's bigger than that. So I don't know, watching it, I'm like cheering on Drake May and like I'm like, we really got our guy,
Yeah.
But also like I was hoping we'd lose that game too, because we're sitting at I think the 4th pick right now in the draft, and I mean you're gonna have Cam Ward and Shador Sanders.
They're going off. I mean, the Giants are in front of us right now, fair?
Yeah.
They need one.
So they're going for QB.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, they got their QB, so they might be looking at Travis Hunter. They're the team. I mean, news broke today, actually, that Trevor Lawrence is out for the year.
Bro, that hit was fucking crazy, bro. I'm not going to lie.
And what's his name came out and apologized. I thought it was like, I mean, all those apologies really be half-assed for real. It's more for like a PR thing.
Yeah, his team also probably lets him know like, hey, you might want to send this out.
And for him to appeal it, like he has to make it seem like he was sorry about it.
Yeah.
But I was actually on TikTok or Instagram, and
you was busting the TikToks?
No,
doing the Jerry McCain a little bit, doing your thing? No?
Nah. I actually deleted TikTok. It was Instagram.
All right.
And there was a highlight reel of all his dirty hits.
And there was a bunch of them this season, right?
A bunch from this year. Like just late hits when a guy ran out of bounds and how he tackles.
Tony Pollard literally was out of bounds back to the defender.
And he just trucks the fuck out of him.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that defense 100% is a tone-setting position. Like, you don't want people just going lollygagging out on the offense. You want the offense to fear you.
Yeah.
So they have to adjust their place to you, of course. But if you see a defenseless QB, I mean, we've seen it time in and time out. Like, QBs are obviously going to slide, and they get cracked the hardest way. I will never forget the Joe Flacco play where
that was insane.
He slid, and they panned the camera to his face, and he's seeing Jesus himself. He said, "Twin,
where am I?"
Twin?
Well, so the question I have for you is, potentially, did he slide too late? Because I'm watching the replay, and it kind of seemed like he was already going for the tackle when he slid. Mm-hmm. But there also has to be a point where, as they train on this stuff. They work on it. Like, as an athlete, are you able to pull up a little bit? During, I mean, I never played football. Like, are you able to pull up on that hit? Like,
or like turn off the hit a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, it happens so fast, the bang bang play. But like, can you take a little bit off after you've already launched? If you know what I mean.
All right, that's a really good question, Murph. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Trevor slid too late, or at least not obviously late to where he was putting himself in a dangerous situation. I think anytime the QB gets out of the pocket, they are putting themselves in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they are linebackers, DBs coming flying down trying to make that play. I do think on Shair's part, the defender who made that play, I do think it's a little tough to lean off the gas after your feet are off the floor.
Yeah.
Like you don't know if the quarterback's really going to go down once your feet are off the floor. But I think you can adjust a little bit. I don't think you're going to make this difference, but maybe you could save a guy a few games, Maybe not be out for the rest of the season.
Not for the rest of the season.
Like Trevor Lawrence is out. He's about to have shoulder surgery now. He was it looked like he was throwing up a few sets after he got that hit. So
it was a little Tua-esque.
Yeah.
not to that extent.
Yeah, but it did seem pretty serious. I think it's a bang bang play like you say.
So I didn't really, watching that hit, like I didn't really realize it was his shoulder that got messed up.
I thought his bell just got run.
I thought he was concussed out of his ass.
Yeah.
To be honest, and when I saw it today, it was like T-Law is out for the year, shoulder surgery. Like, huh? How? Like that? But I think that's a better alternative. I mean, he still took the hit, but if the brunt of the hit went to the shoulder and not the head, long term, I think that's better for his health.
For sure. I mean, you hear a lot of...
You don't want the injuries, of course.
You don't want any injuries, but you don't want any CTE. I mean, we've seen a lot of players suffer from it, whether it's like...
Antonio Brown,
and also, like, back then, bro, like, the linemen used to get hurt, bro. Like, when they would die, they would have, like, the... What is it called after they check your body? It's like a... Autopsy? Yeah, they'll have an autopsy. And
they did it for Richard Seymour.
Yeah, and the brains of players in the NFL who were in like high contact positions, even though they all are, but there's some that hit a lot more.
Yeah.
They're like completely off, just like chemistry wise compared to a regular brain. So
yeah,
at least it did go to the shoulder. He did definitely get something to the head pause. But moving on to the next one, we got we got a better QB who's not hurt right now, who I think I'm taking over T-Law, my boy Drake May. Even though he had it ripped away from us, but he had a decent game, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 in tow. Also, another QB on the other side of the field, Anthony Richardson, bro. It's really good to see him back.
Yeah.
I mean, after having that position taken away from him, probably shows him, like, hey, this shit isn't guaranteed every day. And he's still on his rookie deal, correct? So he's on his second year.
That's right.
So just so he knows, like, hey, this isn't a given. You got to work for it. And it seems like he's taking advantage. I mean, he didn't throw out the best, but 1 rushing touchdown through 2 passing touchdowns. Seems like he's getting his feet back. They got a big W, so.
Yeah, I mean, Colts are also that mid-level team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really know what they need. I guess
they just need to develop the QB.
But like, he also made some throws where it's like, I mean, he has an absolute cannon.
Yeah.
But he overthrew guys down the field by like 10 yards.
They don't need any pieces on offense, I can tell you right now. Bro, they got Michael Pittman.
Who's the slot receiver? White guy.
Alec Pierce.
Yes, Pierce.
They got A.D. Mitchell, and they got some Downs.
Who's their running back? Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
JT.
Who's the backup?
Got me.
Maybe get a solid backup.
Yeah, you got me. But I just think they need to develop Rich's like throwing game a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think their defense is relatively pretty good. They got Zaire Franklin back there. DeForest Buckner is still there.
Yeah.
So I don't really think they need to work on the defense too much. Maybe just develop that O a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of thought, in my opinion, I don't know where he got drafted, like rank wise.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him from last year and this year, I mean, he got hurt last year, right? Ended his season.
He got hurt this year a couple times.
I don't know. I just don't really see the hype behind Anthony Richardson, in my opinion. Again, he's not developed, so maybe he'll. But I guess we could say that about a lot of quarterbacks. Like, there's a lot of I think just fake hype built around players, and then they get overpaid about it. I don't know.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, he just walked away with a huge bag.
Nah, he's
and
chilling.
is on a playoff team.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah.
Can't hate on that. I mean, he sucks, but good for him.
He did what he had to.
So we also had a snow game.
First one of the season, bro. I love watching snow games,
That shit was
bro.
fire.
Swear to God.
49ers Bills happened. It was a good little backyard game. You know what I mean?
It's one of those you play during snow vacation.
Recess too.
Yep.
Going outside. You're like they're trying to tell us we got to come back inside.
Like,
we're
fuck no, baby.
We're going out. You know, I don't care if we slip and fall. We're playing.
For sure.
That game, I didn't really watch too much of it. I'm not gonna lie. I watched, I think, up until halftime, and then went to sleep.
Yep.
Woke up and heard about CMC with that knee injury.
Yeah, it's tough. He's had a tough year, bro.
But that's just like the storyline of the Niners this year is also just health. Like they lost Mason.
Frank Mason. Debo was out a game or two.
That's his first name?
Frank Mason, maybe?
You're bugging. They're running back?
It's not Frank Mason? Something Mason.
There is no way it's Frank Mason.
He's going to check it up. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a complete domination on the Bills' end. Like, their defense was stepping up. It really seemed like the Bills were at home.
Jordan Mason.
It seemed like they were...
Frank.
Going to Frank, kid. But it seemed like they was really at home enjoying the snow game. They was making snow angels. After the game, Coach Sean McDermott and Jalen are making snow angels together. Like
Fire.
Yeah, bro. It was cool to see. Like, it was just a complete domination from the O. There was one play with Amari Cooper.
That play was so
That's like
fire.
the definition of a backyard game. Like, he gets the ball, he's getting touchdown, he's getting brought down like near the goal line. Josh Allen's coming in front of him, tosses it, pitches it over, dives in for the touchdown. Like, that was just a Bills all out. That was a stamp of the game right there. Like, the Bills taking over and just enjoying the snow, like how we would all do it in recess.
It was a fun. Because you really don't see too many of those in the NFL season.
Nah.
You know, you play in arena domes and a lot of West Coast games, so you don't really get those snowy games until you get to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So last year too, around this time, the Bills had. Remember the game on, was it Sunday night or Monday night? They had a game canceled due to the blizzard.
Who was it? The Bills?
The Bills. I forget who they were playing, but they had to cancel the game because of like a blizzard. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And fans, they had like a shit ton of fans come out and shovel out the stadium.
I mean, the Bills got a strong fan base. Bills Mafia is definitely
Bills Mafia
real.
is different.
They're
build.
doing the flips onto the table. They
do know how to have a good time though pregame.
They do. They enjoy they embrace it, and so do the players. It seemed like they embrace that culture they're in, the cold culture.
I mean, like what the hell else are you gonna do in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Like it's Buffalo. Like you're in New York, but you're not. You know, like you're secluded.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they make the most out of it. I think it's really cool. Bring some life into the sport itself.
Yeah.
Coming up tomorrow, we're shooting on a Wednesday. Tomorrow we got Thursday night football. Packers Lions. Two like primarily Lions and Packers are like well rounded, but they're really known for their big running back play this year.
Yeah.
And like Josh Jacobs on the Packers side, you got Monty and Gibbs, also called like Sonic Knuckles. They're playing both good rushing defenses, and they're both really good rushing teams. Packers are sitting at like 8th defensive on the rushing game, and the Lions are sitting at 5th. So I think it'll be a good game. Test whose running back game is really built to run.
One point I gotta make is done making these goddamn bets on these goddamn running backs scoring touchdowns.
Bro, that shit's my sugar though.
It's 2 times this year I've bet on Monty to score a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
There was a span where he scored a touchdown like 5 straight games, didn't touch his slips, right?
Yeah.
Make a bet for Monty to score a touchdown. Jameer Gibbs gets like 2 or 3. Monty gets like he gets them to the goal line and auto subs out. And
it was opposite last year.
Yeah,
Last year, every goal line touch was Monty.
It was Monty. And I'm just like, I gotta stay away from it. I can't do it anymore. It's just like, especially when you're making like a parlay, like
that's where it gets dangerous. You gotta limit yourself, because if not,
you can only put like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
you know?
My soft 3. I'm gonna tell you guys right now if you guys want to finesse it or not. I mean, Kyron's been slowing down, but I've been doing Kyron Williams anytime touchdown, Brian Robinson Jr. on the Washington, anytime touchdown, and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and Kyron's been slowing down a bit. Seems like defenses are starting to, realize they're really running the ball down their throat. Pause. But
no Diddy,
no Giddy, none of that. But that's my soft spot for the parlays.
I think you can. I mean, if you are to add one, it would definitely be Jahmyr Gibbs.
Gibbs, right?
Gibbs, yeah.
He's so electric. He's so good.
Him just that once he plants his foot in the ground and makes his cut. Oh my! See you later.
He has that weird stance too, like Ashton Genty. I don't know if you've seen that rookie, but they instead of being hunched over, ready to catch or run the ball, like most running backs, they kind of stand up straight and lean into it and run. I don't know if that's like a agility kind of thing.
It might help with his pickup speed. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
He's that guy that once he hits that second gear, it gets really dangerous.
Yeah.
So maybe it helps.
I don't know if it was Gibbs or what the running back was, but it's a crazy stat of once he hits the line of scrimmage, he's already almost at top speed. Whoa. Coming out of the back.
Off the scrimmage?
Coming out of the backfield. And I believe it was based on how he stands.
Mm-hmm.
His stand by the time he's hitting crossing the line of scrimmage, he's already hit top gear.
Yeah, that's fire. I mean, that's a great addition
I'll have to make sure. I'll have to figure out who it was and research that. Maybe I'll mention it next podcast episode. But
make sure to get that on next time.
Yeah. So the next Sunday that we have, where is it? Sunday Night Football. We got Chiefs and Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs are sitting at 11-1 and Chargers are sitting at 8-4.
Yep.
I think the script is Chiefs are gonna win this game because the script wants them to three-peat, but that's just my take, I guess.
But they just been getting bailed out by the D. I mean, ever since they lost Tyreek Hill, they haven't looked the same. A few years back, it's like they're the short route running team. I mean, I thought off of the first game of the season, Xavier Worthy was going to be a big piece for them, like a bomb threat.
He got hurt though.
He got hurt, but he's back.
Yeah, but sometimes off of injury, it's hard to come back and pick up where you left off.
Yeah, but that's my opinion. I thought he was going to come back and be their deep threat. They really don't. They throw him a deep threat ball here and there throughout a game, but they don't really attack it like they used to. Another person was back, Isaiah Pacheco, bro.
He's back?
He's back. He played last game.
I was not aware of that.
He was at 33% of the shares, and Kareem Hunt was sitting at 40. So it's not like he's not touching the ball. In my opinion, with the fracture he had in his leg, I didn't think he was coming back this season.
But yeah, that was nasty work.
Yeah.
So that was his first game back. It's gonna take him a minute to, get back up to game speed though.
The thing about it though, I'm gonna ask you this question after I state this. Do you think he's gonna take Kareem Hunt's RB1 spot on that team? And the reason I ask is because what's been benefiting Kareem Hunt is the touches. He's not the most efficient. Looking at his efficiency chart, he's really getting that attention on that team is because he's getting all the touches. There was no. They have Samaje Perines there, but he's not really a main touch guy you want to give it to. He's like a third down back. But Isaiah Pacheco was much more efficient last year. He was efficient in the beginning of the season before he got hurt. Do you think he takes that spot over Kareem Hunt? Towards playoff time?
I think they're going to build up to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, it's his first game back. His touches are going to increase.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my eyes, it's like a NBA player that comes back from an injury and you have a minutes restriction.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to, increase his role a little bit more.
Let me change the question for you a bit. If you are the Chiefs and you're running the show, over time, do you want him to be that? During this season, not next season, but during the season, do you want to put that load of RB1 on him after coming off such a serious leg injury?
Probably not. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have two stances on this where it's yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
You want your number one option to go back to being your number one option, but at the same time, you want your number one option to be available for more than just this year. If you play him,
100%.
if you play him too fast, play him too much too early, you're risking his longevity.
Yeah.
And maximizing his potential.
Mm-hmm.
So, from that standpoint, no, not rush it. But you
With
also
three
have
piece on the line.
Yeah, but I mean that's an argument for, another argument, I guess you could say. But I don't know. Do you want to change your offense how you've been playing. I mean, their offense has been kind of struggling, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'd say if I was running the show as a GM, you work them back up, keep them off, like, rise them a little bit off the minutes restriction, and then come playoff time, maybe he'll be ready to take that. But even if he's not your number one, he's going to be your number two.
Yeah.
So he's still going to get those touches.
That's a good number 2 to have.
It's a great option for number 2, especially in that offense where they're kind of struggling to put stuff together.
I think he's just a great option to have. I was just the main topic for me on this is just super surprised he came back that fast, and that he kind of came at a good time for him where their offense is struggling, defense is winning games, like even out the playing field. Another offensive fucking rookie that's going crazy is Lad McConkey. He was the only player on the Chargers to have over 2 targets that game. And he was sitting at 12 targets.
Wait, are you kidding me?
No.
Wait, how many attempts did he have?
How many targets?
No,
he had 9 receptions.
How many attempts did Herbert have?
I didn't see that, not gonna lie. But I seen like the highest was Quentin Johnson at 2 and everybody else was at 1. Like you could tell that's his favorite. He has a clear favorite. I mean, he got 9. He converted on 9 of the 12 for 117 yards. Didn't get the touchdown. Chargers took over their defense. 4 insoles, man. On Kirkio Chains Cousins.
What are you going to do?
What's up with ATL, man? I thought they were going to be a lot more scary. I mean, Bijan's doing this thing, but I don't know. Kyle Pitts is up and down.
Kirk, in my opinion, is an overpaid older quarterback. He's not... He still has flashes of what Kirk used to do in the regular season. Because you can really only base him off of the regular season. He's not like a postseason guy. It's just is what it is. He's been doing this long enough to, you know, it's the same story kind of every year. I think the ATL definitely made a move to probably please fans.
Yeah, they also
by
wanted
signing him, but they overpaid that man.
Yeah, I think they were just desperate coming off a Desmond Ridder filled season. I mean, you had their coordinator at offense, or their coach was just not favorable for what they wanted to do with like Bijan and Drake London. I think they just was looking for a veteran savior to just save the season. So I think it was a little bit of a rushed move, but not the worst. I mean,
but you also have Michael Penix learning under a vet.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can look at it that way, but you're also paying Kirk like whatever it was, 200 and something million.
He's getting that moolah.
Whatever the amount was, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they're paying 40 mil, maybe, call it, for a quarterback that's, I want to say mid-30s, maybe a little bit older, 36 maybe.
Mid-30s, and hasn't proved it in the playoff like section. So I think they were a little desperate there, made that decision.
Let's search up his contract.
Bijan, though, on the other hand, has been cooking. He's on my fantasy. He's dropping me like last game. He had 30 touches, I think, 30 attempts at the rush. So I think he's been carrying my offense on my fantasy is built off the running back. So we're looking at Kirk's salary right now.
4 years.
You can let him know.
4 years, 180 million, 100 guaranteed.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Including how much is that? 50 million signing bonus.
Let's see it right here. I got it up. So he had a 12.5. Yeah, so in total on the contract, $50 million signing bonus. This year he's getting paid. Yo, no way. So he's getting paid 25 this year. 40 next year, and then 57.5.
We not pocket watching. We just a little interested. You know, we looking at the logistics here.
$57.5 million for the final 2 years. So his potential opt out would be 2026. For 2 years, $100 million.
Let's just hope this works out for him. But like you said, they have a good backup in Michael Penix, who is learning. He was good in the college setting. Yeah. So just in case things with Kirk doesn't work out, they won't be scrambling for a new QB. They have one who knows the system. Yeah. In Michael Penix.
His time will come.
Just be patient, my boy.
Yep. All right, so next up on the slip of this podcast is UFC 310. We got 3 major fights coming up, including a title fight. So if you want to touch upon that.
Yes, sir.
Go
Starting
right
off with the title fight, we got Alex Pantoja, Brazilian guy. He's currently the champion right now out of his division. And he's fighting against Kai Asakura, who both well-seasoned veterans, have been in the game for a while. Pantoja's sitting at 5'5", 125, 67 and a half reach. Asakura seems to be the bigger fighter. He's sitting at 5'8", 135, 69 reach.
There's some fucking little guys for real.
They are some little guys, but
they knock my shit out.
Fuck around and find out at the bar. I don't know. 125 is really small though, but their sport is like so many different divisions. I think it's really nice to have some balance, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't have a guy like Pantoja fighting the fucking John Jones. That would be very bad for the sport, but you know, Pantoja's coming off of big wins against Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval, two big fighters, two dog of fighters. You know, his winning style is a little weird though. Like he's very quiet as a champion. And then I have a question for you. Like, do you think he might be the least hyped champ right now?
100%.
Like to have a championship,
you don't
so
hear
much
about him like almost at all. Mm-hmm. Really. Unless you're really in tune with the UFC.
Yeah.
Like if that's like your main, you know, like basketball and football for us, but like if UFC is like your top sport that you focus on and you watch, maybe it might be a different, you might have a different opinion or look on it, but for just like the normal fan looking in, you don't really hear much about him, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't. His style isn't also must-watch TV. I mean, he's a big jiu-jitsu guy, big getting on your back, pause.
Ground and pound,
you know, trying to get you to submit. So that's really his game. That might be why he's not so hyped as all the other champs like John Jones, Alex Pereira, Dracus Duplessis, Bilal Muhammad, Islam Makhachev, Ilya Topuria, Merab, who just beat Sugar Sean. Like, these are all guys who are big play at any time.
Yeah.
The only thing about Asakura, he is well seasoned and he's coming off of 2 wins, but his last fight was last year of January. Yeah. Or last year of December. So what do you think of that?
I mean, it's a long set off. I mean, do you know if he was injured?
I'm not too sure.
So
I'm guessing though.
I mean, that's a long time to be out of the fight game. Mm-hmm. Like, usually fighters might have 2 fights in a year.
Yeah.
Because you're training for what, 8 weeks at a time, so that's 2 months. So pretty much 4 months of training for 2 fights in a year. Then you have to have that recovery time.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess like he's gonna have to play it not safe, because I really don't know too much about Asakura, but
yeah, me either. Did some research, got those 2 wins. He's well seasoned though.
Do you know who the 2 wins were from? Like who he fought?
Honestly, I didn't. I seen them, didn't recognize who their names, so I didn't really know.
And this is a title fight?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Coming off of, I think the division is just dry.
It might be dried up. They might be looking for a spark.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to. I don't know if they want to.
Out of the rough.
Yeah, or they're just trying to feed Pantoja's wins, hype him up a little bit, and then probably get a better name in there. Yeah. To spark it up.
I mean, Dana White does his thing. He knows. He's built this company off the ground. He's built it from bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. So he's another brilliant mind in the sports world. So he's definitely gonna. He's not gonna play a card that he knows is gonna fuck up his business, you know.
Of course.
Like he's gonna be bringing in that money, and even if that title fight's not as hype, like he's gonna make the card have a fight on it that will bring some life to it.
And that card is the card right under it, the co-main, Shavkat versus Jan Gary, 2 amazing fighters, both undefeated. Jan Gary, I don't know, he's a people's guy, man. Like he's an Irish guy. He teaches his newborn Portuguese,
which is fire.
Yeah, bro. Like he loves all cultures. He embraces them all, and for them to be both undefeated on the co-main, 2 scary fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, Shavkat was telling us during his mini movies coming up to this fight that a lot of phone calls were made after Bilal Muhammad was taken off of the fight due to injury. Nobody was picking up, but Jan Gary, who has a undefeated record at stake, is like, let's run it.
Yeah.
Let's go. So that shows a lot of balls. That shows the fans that he is who he really says he is. Shavkat's sitting at 6'1", 171, 77 reach. Bigger guys. Jan Gary's a little taller. 6'3", 170 with a 74.5 reach.
Yeah, so taller with less of a wingspan. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and it's nothing crazy. Unless it's like maybe a 5-inch, maybe a little bit more of a reach. What is that? 2.5 inches? Like that's nothing like crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a pretty even fight.
Yeah.
Throughout. But
I think it'll be a good fight. But the interesting thing I found about Shavkat, yeah, he's been dominating, but kind of like the Bucks you said earlier. Is it really worth it if it's against people who's not like that? I mean, his last 3 fights were against Wonder Boy, who's amazing, but he's 41 now.
Yeah.
Geoff Neal, who's 34, and Neil Magny, who's 37. And Shavkat is in his younger 30s. So it's like, yeah, you're beating old guys up, but is it really... He's definitely a great fighter, but his last 3 fights doesn't really represent the guy he wants to be represented as, who is the scariest in the division. I think it's just his fight style that's really scary. He could do ground game. He could beat you up front. He could do it all. And Jan Gary's also fought 2 of those guys, but he's coming off a fight with Michael Page, MVP.
Yeah.
Who is a really scary fighter. He's really unorthodox, hands down, flying knees, all that good stuff. So I think this will be a big proving game. My mom just walked in. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Hand it to the mom if you want. Can I follow hi? Hi. You know, she just came back from work. She a hard worker, but yeah, it's going to be a good fight. Somebody's going to lose and not become undefeated anymore. And I honestly think it's going to be the fight of the night. And this fight will lead to a title fight in the division.
Really?
100%. I mean, it was going to be a title fight until Bilal Muhammad, the champ, was hurt. So whoever wins this is second in line, waiting to get it.
So is there an interim champion? Is this going to be the interim championship right here?
No. So Bilal Muhammad's current champ, but he had to step out for an injury, but it wasn't nothing major. Just he can't fight this night.
All right, so they don't need to have someone step in and be the champ.
Yeah,
got it.
I don't think it's a major injury. Maybe just like can't fight that in the fight or a gash, something nasty, you know.
I'm looking forward to this Gon and Volkov fight.
Big bounce back.
Yeah.
Big bounce back for Gon. I mean, Gon, he was on the top of the world in his heavyweight division. He's like unorthodox as well. Like heavyweights normally stand here, let's fight. He has a soccer background, so he's moving all over the place.
Yep.
Doing all that movement. And he's 250, so moving like that was really impressive. But I think it'll be a big bounce back for him that he needs. Volkov, I mean, you see his record. He's been in the game for a while.
48 fights.
48 fights, and 38 of those are wins.
I don't know if those are all UFC, but 48 professional fights, that's
pretty impressive. A
lot of fights.
Yeah, he's been in the game for a while. He's sitting at 6'7", 258, 80-inch reach. So it'll be a good game. Volkov is coming off a 4-win streak, even though he's been in the game for a while. 4-game win streak, and one of his fights were a sub-win over
Bam Bam.
Yeah, Tai Tuivasa.
There was no Shuey that night.
No Shuey. That might be why he lost.
He didn't have that pregame Shuey. Just pour it in that shoe.
Mm-hmm. Gotta get the Shuey in, you feel me?
Get that lint out. Ugh.
Bam Bam's a good fight to watch too. I mean, he's one of those fighters that's for the fans, bro. He just makes it happen.
He just loves like the entertainment side of things. Of like, I mean, just the Shuey in general.
Yeah.
Like the crowd when they see Bam Bam win a fight and they see him jump on top of the fence, the cage, and then someone throws him a shoe, and then a beer.
Yeah.
And he just pretty much shotguns a beer out of a shoe.
Yeah.
The stadium goes nuts to see that.
It's a signature.
It's disgusting. I'd never do it, but like for some reason fans like it. So I mean,
it's just a little sprinkle of himself into a sport that you know is very violent, and then having that step back into reality where we're just being goofy, showing ourselves off. I think it's really refreshing. Big main getaway from this fight in general is Gon has to prove himself. Volkov is really well seasoned, been in the game for a while. He's had big wins under his belt. And this is a good fight for Gon to come back and let him know, like, hey, I touched earth with John Jones a little bit, but I'm still here. I'm still that guy, and I'm here to prove myself. Because he's only had 14 professional fights, sitting at 12-2. He could definitely bounce back and continue his stardom. Yeah,
and this will help him if he does want to get that champion belt back.
Yeah.
This is definitely a fight that will help get him back on track,
100%.
So, all right, so that's gonna wrap up episode 3. Before we head out, we also want to check in with you guys and just kind of see where or maybe what else we could do that could spark some interest. We both have the idea of maybe cutting down the podcast to the 10-minute videos, maybe just a video posted for NBA, a video posted for NFL, for UFC, whatever the topic might be. But I think that's going to help, gain some traction here.
For sure.
That way, maybe if you guys don't want to skip through some of the podcasts to find, if you're only an NBA person or NFL, whatever it is, you don't have to go searching for it. We can just kind of post that topic. So I just want to just see where you guys are at with that.
Yeah, what Merv's getting at is just like we said from the jump, like we want to grow with you guys. So like all the feedback we can get from you guys on to how to improve it, how to keep you guys here longer, what do you guys want us to do, new formats, like let us know. We're all ears right now. We will always be all ears for sure. Like we could use every topic, every hint, every clue we could get just to make this as informative and fun as like we could possibly make it. Like just talking about sports straight up is really fun, but we also want to, strategize behind this a little bit. So if you guys have any tips, let us know how y'all want it to be set up. We could definitely, move some things around. But this is officially episode 3. We were super happy to have you guys with us here. It was a great episode, and we'll be back soon for episode 4.